In a world packed with the ordinary, there are extraordinary people who stand out in the most unexpected ways. These are the people whose mind-blowing stories defy logic and challenge everything we thought was possible. From ultra-rare medical conditions to astonishing feats of strength, their lives prove that what makes us different can often become our greatest power. Get ready to be moved by some of the most extraordinary individuals whose unbelievable journeys will leave you in awe and remind you that anything is achievable when you believe in yourself. Number 15. Michelle and Amber Vanderweert. Michelle, 27, and Amber, 19, are siblings born with progeria. In simple words, it's a rare genetic condition that causes rapid aging, like really fast. But despite their diagnosis, both are full of life and determination. They don't allow their condition to control them. They simply live every day to the fullest. Miko loves the adrenaline of go-kart racing, while Amber expresses her creativity through dance and social media. Their connection and resilience inspire everyone who meets them. Instead of hiding from life, they embrace it with optimism and energy. Michelle has set his sights on breaking the record for the oldest person with progeria, proving that limits mean nothing when your will is strong enough. Together, the two continue to challenge medical expectations and show that happiness and courage can outshine any condition, no matter how rare. Number 14. Maria Fernandez. Maria Fernandez from India made history when she gave birth to 11 healthy babies in just 37 minutes. This unbelievable event took place naturally at Riley Children's Hospital without any surgical procedure. Even more remarkable, 6 of the babies are identical, an occurrence so rare that doctors worldwide were astonished. Throughout her pregnancy, Maria's health remained stable, and her incredible delivery drew attention from across the globe. The story of her and her babies quickly earned a place in the Guinness World Records, cementing her as one of the most extraordinary mothers in history. Her experience stands as proof of the human body's resilience and the miracles it's capable of. In a world where most pregnancies involve endless complications, Maria's story remains one of strength, survival, and sheer wonder. There was a doctor named William Roberts who said, "They come out literally one after another. So, is this extraordinary lady shock you? If not, then wait for the next one. He will just blow your mind." Number 13. The Folded Man. For decades, Li Hua from China lived completely bent in half. His face pressed into his chest, unable to walk upright, sleep flat, or even look forward. He had ankylosing spondylitis, a severe spinal disease that gradually fused his vertebrae together. It started when he was 18, and over the years, his body curved more and more until he was stuck in a 90-degree fold. For over 20 painful years, Li ate, slept, and breathed in that shape. Surgery was long considered too dangerous, until a team at Shenzhen University General Hospital, led by Dr. Tao Huiren, said yes. Across 4 intense procedures, they carefully broke and rebuilt his spine, correcting the curve bit by bit. The risk was enormous, but it worked. For the first time in nearly 30 years, Li stood straight again. His story isn't just about pain or surgery. It's about patience, courage, and the strength it takes to wait half a lifetime for a single breath of freedom. He is now finally free. Number 12. Stephen Ludwig. Well, this is real, and it's not Photoshop or some AI-edited stuff. At just 17 years old, Stephen Ludwig has faced more obstacles than most people encounter in an entire lifetime. He was born with Marfan syndrome, which is an extremely rare connective tissue disorder that can cause shortening of arms, legs, or a lot of other parts. In Stephen's case, it's his left arm and leg. He has undergone more than 30 surgeries, battled leukemia, and survived a bone marrow transplant. Despite all of this, Stephen refuses to give up. His optimism, humor, and resilience continue to inspire everyone around him. Instead of focusing on what he's lost, he celebrates what he's gained: perspective, courage, and a deep understanding of strength. Stephen doesn't just fight illness, he lives beyond it, becoming a symbol of endurance for anyone facing hardship. His story is a reminder that hope doesn't come from ease, but from persistence in the face of pain. Number 11. Charlotte Garside. Charlotte was barely the size of a baby doll when she was born. Her clothes had to be sewn by hand. Her crib was closer to a shoebox. She had primordial dwarfism, a condition so rare it came with no real roadmap. But Charlotte never waited for answers. She learned to sit, speak, walk, and write, just like every other kid. She joined school, played with her sisters, and told people she wanted to be a teacher. People stared. She didn't flinch. Teachers treated her like everyone else, and her classmates did too. She wasn't looking for pity. She just wanted a normal life. During recess, she played. During class, she kept pace. Her body stayed small, but everything else about her didn't. She understood that her condition was permanent, but so was her determination. Charlotte's size might have turned heads, but her mindset is what left the real impression. She didn't ask to be different or unusual. She just chose not to be limited. Number 10. Flo and Kay Lyman. Flo and Kay Lyman are identical twin sisters whose minds function like no one else's. Born in the 1950s in the US, they are the only known pair of female autistic savant twins in the world. Their social interactions are limited, but their memories are astonishing. They can recall exact weather patterns, TV lineups, and daily events from decades ago down to the hour. Their entire world is ruled by precision, routine, and detail. What makes their story even more unique is their absolute obsession with TV host Dick Clark. They remember everything about him: what he wore, what he said, even what time he flew. Their story has appeared in studies and documentaries exploring memory, autism, and the human brain. Flo and Kay live in sync, side by side, in a rhythm few can understand. They don't chase attention. They don't need it. Their world makes sense to them, and their brilliance proves not all genius is loud. Number 9. Arya Permana. Arya is an Indonesian teen whose extreme transformation grabbed global headlines. By age 9, he weighed roughly 424 pounds, making everyday life nearly impossible. Walking was a challenge. He constantly ran out of breath, and even bathing became difficult. He used a specially made outdoor tub instead. In 2014, his appetite surged, eating 5 full meals a day, easily enough for 2 grown adults. His weight skyrocketed, his health declined, and he had to quit school. He became isolated and stuck. That's when everything changed. Determined to reclaim his life, Arya underwent a massive transformation. With full medical support and guidance from Aditya, a well-known Indonesian fitness coach, Arya overhauled his diet, stuck to daily workouts, and had bariatric surgery in 2017. Over the next few years, he shed more than half his body weight. Now he's back in shape, active, and hopeful for the future. His body changed dramatically, but what really transformed was his willpower. Now, let's head over to Number 8. Mahendra Ahirwar. For years, all he could see was just the floor. Mahendra Ahirwar's neck had bent so far forward it locked against his chest, staying that way for more than a decade. He was born with a rare muscular disorder that weakened his body but never touched his determination. He couldn't walk, breathe properly, or lift his head. His parents took him to over 50 hospitals. Every doctor turned him away. Too risky, too poor, too hopeless. But in Liverpool, a woman named Julie saw his story and said no. She raised the funds for complex surgery in New Delhi. In 2016, they operated. Titanium plates, neck realigned. He sat up, looked around, smiled. The sun rose when his head came up, his mother said. He returned to school, started living, and just 8 months later, he passed away suddenly while watching TV. It made no sense, but for those 8 months, he stood tall. He met the world at eye level. He finally saw everything. Number 7. Amaya Stringer. Amaya was born with multiple congenital conditions that made her path both medically complex and emotionally powerful. At the 20-week mark during pregnancy, scans showed her legs weren't developing, and abnormalities appeared in her ears and canals. When she arrived, Amaya had no legs due to caudal regression syndrome, which affects the lower spine and blocks leg formation. She also has bilateral microtia atresia, meaning her ears are misshapen, her canals never fully developed, and she now uses hearing aids. On top of that, she was born with Pierre-Robin's sequence, which includes a recessed jaw and cleft palate, making breathing and feeding difficult from the start. Within 6 weeks, she underwent major surgeries just to breathe, eat, and support facial development. Her daily routine includes physical, occupational, and feeding therapy. At home, her family uses sign language, custom setups, and non-stop care. Through it all, Amaya remains joyful and brave, and her mom, she's the real backbone of it all. Number 6. Nikki Freeman. This one sounds impossible, but it's real. Nikki Freeman from Esperance, Western Australia, looks like he's 10 years old. He's over 40. His body ages at just a quarter of the normal rate. Born with hydrocephalus, where fluid builds in the brain, doctors never expected him to survive infancy. But he did, and then kept defying everything. He's blind. His pituitary gland barely functions. His skeleton grows in slow motion. At 16, he had the bone structure of a 4-year-old. Even now, scans say child. He didn't walk until age 2. One surgery meant to relieve cranial pressure left him temporarily paralyzed and unable to speak. He never fully regained speech, but he communicates through movement and expression. Despite every setback, Nikki kept going. He laughs, rides horses, and loves car rides with family. He's still growing, just very, very slowly. His life challenges everything we know about aging, development, and survival. He doesn't look his age, but he's earned every single year. Number 5. Pranshu. Pranshu is a young boy from India, born with an undiagnosed condition that left him unable to walk and gave him striking, distinct facial features, most notably a wide forehead and deep-set eyes. Locals believe his appearance resembles Lord Ganesha, and they've embraced him as a living god. Every week, visitors gather at his home, offering prayers, gifts, and requests for blessings. Though doctors have never confirmed a diagnosis, Pranshu takes pride in being called Ganesha Ji. His family, though living in poverty, feels pride and gratitude for the respect their son receives. His physical condition remains a mystery, but his presence has become something deeply spiritual. In their eyes, he's not disabled, he's divine. Pranshu's story crosses the line between medicine and faith, showing how a child once overlooked is now seen as sacred. His life is defined not by illness, but by how others choose to see him, revered, honored, and loved. A boy, a symbol, a story of devotion. What do you think about him? Let us know. Number 4. Kathy Young. This American corset devotee holds one of the most extreme body modification records in history, the world's smallest waist on a living adult. Standing 5 feet 8, her waist measures a staggering 15 inches, earning her a Guinness World Record. Her fascination with corsets began back in the late 1950s, before she married orthopedic surgeon Bob Jung. Together, they explored Victorian fashion, and what started as an interest soon became a lifestyle. By the 1980s, Kathy was tight-lacing full-time, wearing custom-made corsets day and night to gradually reduce her waist. She now owns over 100 meticulously crafted corsets and rarely removes them. While critics assume it's damaged her health, Kathy and her husband insist otherwise, claiming the corsets actually support her posture and spine. Whether you see it as dedication or obsession, she's undeniably transformed the conversation around fashion, anatomy, and endurance. Kathy didn't just chase a record, she built her entire life around it. And yes, she's still laced. Number 3. Amar Bharati. In 1973, Amar Bharati, an Indian sadhu, made a vow that would define the rest of his life. He raised his right arm in devotion and never put it down. Before that, he lived as a clerk in New Delhi with a wife and 3 kids. But in 1970, he gave it all up to follow Shiva completely. 3 years later, as both a spiritual gesture and a plea for world peace, he lifted his arm and kept it raised. At first, the pain was unbearable. Over time, his muscles withered, circulation faded, and his arm froze in place. Now it's shriveled and lifeless, with long, twisted nails. It doesn't function anymore, but it still speaks. For Bharati, this isn't about spectacle. It's about faith, endurance, and a message to humanity. He's vowed to keep it raised until his final breath. Some see it as madness, others as ultimate belief. Either way, it's lasted over 50 years, and it's still up. Number 2. Nova Hunya. Nova was born at just 30 weeks and immediately faced a long list of critical health challenges. Her jawbone hadn't developed properly, she had both a cleft lip and palate, and she was born without ear canals. Breathing was unstable from day one. She stayed in the hospital, underwent surgery after surgery, and was fed through a tube. Her parents, Asia and Joseph Hunya from Wellington, New Zealand, faced constant fear and uncertainty. Nova eventually needed a tracheostomy to breathe, oxygen support, and round-the-clock care. Genetic testing was done, but even now, no clear diagnosis has been found. Still, Nova has made meaningful, steady progress. Walking and motor skills took time, but every new achievement has been celebrated with joy. Asia says raising Nova taught them patience, softness, and how to see their daughter first, before any condition. Nova's journey is one of quiet victories, unshakable love, and resilience. Her parents continue sharing her story, hoping it gives others strength, hope, and perspective. Number 1. Dor Bahadur Kapangi. He was just a regular kid, walking to school with his brother every morning, until around age 7, when he simply stopped growing. His parents were confused, and doctors had no explanation. Born in Nepal's Sinduli district in 2004, Dor was officially measured by Guinness World Records in 2022 at just 2 feet 4 inches tall. He was 17. During the ceremony, he barely spoke. His older brother handled the talking while Dor sat quietly, clearly uncomfortable with all the cameras. He still lives in that same rural village southeast of Kathmandu, surrounded by rice paddies and classmates who've long outgrown him. His family carries him to school, helps him eat, dress, and stay involved in everything. He doesn't dislike the attention, but he'd rather just be around his friends, doing homework, kicking a ball, or being left alone. The record is international, but his world hasn't changed. Same village, same daily life, same kid. Just one with a very, very rare title. If you've enjoyed watching this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you very soon.